Julia, and I'm a yarn nut, yarn hoarder, yarn squirreler. This week I heard the term yarn collector and I really liked it. So I think this week I'm going to call myself a yarn collector. That's not as bad as hoarding, is it? I think it's the same thing. So I don't care what you call it. I'm going to keep doing it because I love yarn. So today we're going to be introducing our very first crochet along here at Yarn Nut. It's going to be the All Seasons Reversible Cotton Quilt, and it's the quilt that you see behind me here that I showed you in my very first video. I got so many compliments and comments on it that I thought I would make it our first crochet along. The idea for this quilt came from the quilts I remember my mom making when I was little. She used to sew quilts and I was so fascinated by all the colors and patterns and shapes, and I was really bummed because I couldn't sew. So when I started thinking about new projects, those quilts came to my mind and I wanted to see if I could try to recreate one. Now this is of course a very simple quilt design and I do want to be doing more intricate ones later, but I thought I would start with this one. This is the first video in the series for this crochet along. The crochet along will have one video tutorial for each of the 6 square patterns that are used in this quilt, and then another video for the border and the joining. So if you'd like to be notified when these videos are released, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when these videos come out. I haven't done a schedule yet for releasing the videos, but I'm planning on doing one a week for the tutorial, 2 weeks max. So here I'm going to insert a video that I took of both sides of this blanket in detail so you can see close up what the blanket looks like. This blanket is 5 feet by 5 feet and it has 64 squares on each side, 8 by 8 rows. The squares are 5.5 inches, and I did block these squares out. These are Filet Crochet Squares, and as you can see, the blocking really brought out the patterns in these squares. So I really liked blocking. Of course, you don't have to block them, but for my personal preference with the Filet Crochet especially, I really liked blocking. I used 6 colors on each side. My theme is All Seasons, which is winter, fall colors on one side, and spring, summer colors on the other. Some of the colors we'll be using will be different than the ones you see in this blanket because all of these colors were not available on Ice Yarns, and I did want to make all the colors I was going to be using available on yarnnut.com so you could use the same colors as I am using if you would like to. So I have really exciting news on that front. We just got a new color in of the jeans yarn from Ice Yarns, which I will be unboxing for you in just a minute. The border was done in a 4-weight 100% cotton yarn using an F crochet hook. This afghan is going to be completely reversible. It will have 2 front sides joined together, which is really, really nice. I really like the fact that there's no back. The back is always a little bit unattractive unless you've reversed every row. So I really like the fact that there's no back to this blanket. There's just 2 pretty front sides that are amazing. So to tell you more about the jeans yarn from Ice Yarn that I used for these Filet Crochet Squares, it is a 3-weight 100% cotton yarn. It's very soft. It doesn't split very much. I was really, really impressed with this yarn. In fact, it's my favorite yarn to use right now for summertime especially. The colors are shaded throughout each skein with white going through the whole skein, so it kind of looks like faded denim. So I'm going to insert a picture here to show you what I'm talking about. I did these 4 squares in the gray color of jeans yarn, and as you can see, all 4 squares are a little bit different. Some of them have dark in the center and lighter shades on the outside. Some have light in the center and darker shades on the outside, and some are a combination of both. And it actually gives each square a completely different look. Each square has some dimension and it should have some character, and I really, really like the way this yarn works up, especially in these squares. So now I'm going to show you the colors that I chose for this crochet along project. But first, I have a surprise for you. So this just came in yesterday, and I'm so excited because it contains a new color of jeans yarn that I've been waiting to come back in stock so I can include it in this blanket. Alright, and look what we have inside. red. I'm so happy. I was really wanting to include this on the summer side of the reversible cotton quilt because it reminds me of the 4th of July and fireworks, and it's a really, really beautiful color. So I was very happy when I saw last week that they had a few packs in stock. I must have missed the rest of it, or that's all they had. But I was able to get 6 packs of the red, which is color number 42560 on Ice Yarns, and it's the red white. So I'm going to have this available on Yarn Nut today, and it's a great color. I love it. So this is my whip basket for this crochet along on a reversible cotton quilt that I put together so you can see everything that I use and what you'll need to do this project. I have 1 skein of each color for the squares, and I like to pull out whatever color I feel like using at that time. I have an E crochet hook, and I'm using clover crochet hooks right now. I do love the boy hooks, and that's what I grew up using, but I found that as I'm getting older, once I start crocheting for a long period of time, my hands start aching a little bit, so the clovers are much better for me when I'm crocheting for a long period of time. But I do miss using my boy hooks. I love those hooks, the colors on them and the feel of them. It's just, they're great, and I wish I could use them more. I have my darning needles, embroidery scissors, and I keep a 6-inch ruler in my whip basket because I like to measure each square as I finish because I want to make sure they're the right size. I make sure that it can just stretch a little bit up to 5.5, so when it's blocked they're 5.5 inches. But I just like keeping track and knowing that I'm staying uniform. I also keep a project book and a pencil so I can keep notes about the pattern as I go. I use this on this particular project to keep track of how many squares of each color and pattern that I make so I don't make too many. When I was working on the quilt behind me, I just went crazy on this one because I really like doing it, and I made way too many squares in one color. So just a little way to keep track of what you've made so you don't make too many. Okay, so I want to show you the colors that I chose of the jeans yarn from Ice. So for the spring summer side, I chose these 6 colors, and of course you can use any colors you like. I chose yellow, purple, red, orange, candy pink, and mint green. So for the fall winter side, I chose these 6 colors. It's turquoise, brown, copper, orchid, which is dark red, navy blue, and light brown. And these colors are all also available on yarnnut.com. I do have limited quantities. I was never able to get a lot of this yarn at all. I've kind of been collecting packs as I go. So I'm not sure, how long the supplies will last. But if you do want to use this yarn, you can get it there, and if not, use whatever you like. I can't wait to actually see what you guys choose to use. So if you would tell me if you're going to make this with me in the comments below and what kind of yarn you're going to use, I'd be really excited to hear that. So now to tell you how much yarn you need for this project. We're going to be doing 6 different filet crochet squares. Square number 1 is going to be the diamond square, and we're going to be making 10 of those, and those take 37 yards each for a total of 370 yards for each diamond square. The colors I chose for the diamond are copper and candy pink. So you will need 370 yards of each one of those colors, or whatever color you choose. And in the jeans cotton yarn that I'm using, it took 3 skeins of each color. Square number 2 is the star square. We'll be making 11 of these, and these take 38 yards per square for a total of 418 yards in each color that you choose for the star square. We chose turquoise and brown in the jeans yarn, and that came out to 3 skeins each. Square number 3 is the triangle square, and we'll be making 10 of those. It takes 33 yards per square on this, so you have a total of 330 yards in each color for each triangle square. The colors we chose were navy blue and bright orange in the jeans yarn, and that was 3 skeins each. Square number 4 is the open diamond square. We'll be making 10 of these, and they take 32 yards each for a total of 320 yards in each color for the open diamond square. For the open diamond square, we used light brown for winter and mint green for summer in the jeans yarn, and we used 3 skeins of each. Square number 5 is the every other square. This is a nice easy pattern to do when you don't want to concentrate so much. We'll be making 12 of these in each color, and it takes 34 yards per square for a total of 408 yards in each color. We chose turquoise and bright yellow for the every other squares in this quilt. Square number 6 is really pretty. It's a flower square, and we're going to be making 11 of these, and they take 38 yards per square. The colors we chose for the flower square are bright red for summer and dark red for fall, which is the orchid color in the jeans yarn. And we used 418 yards per flower square, per color. And that came out also to 3 skeins per color. So on some of them you're going to have a little bit left over, but they all went into more than 2 skeins. For the joining and the border, I used a 4-weight yarn in Ecru 100% cotton. As I said, I am going to be looking for a replacement yarn for that. The joining and the border on this blanket took 1,372 yards of a 4-weight 100% cotton yarn. So I did take one of the solid colors that I wanted to accent, and I put 1 row of a color in this border. So that's from the leftover skeins that I had, you know, because they all don't take totally 3. So you can use any color you like there. I just chose the color that I thought was the darkest so that it would accent. So on this side I used the medium blue, which is not available right now, of course. And on the other side for winter I used the navy blue. So you can use any color you like. So that is all the information so far that I have on the Crochet Along for the All Seasons Reversible Cotton Quilt. And if you have any questions or if I left anything out, please ask a question in the comment below or send me an email at yarn@yarnnut.com. This is my first crochet along, so I'm trying to cover everything, but I'm probably going to miss something, so I'd appreciate your help if you want to help me out if I missed anything important. Oh, thanks so much for watching, and have a really good day or evening wherever you are, and I hope you won't be frogging a lot this week. I've been frogging some squares. I was working on some squares this week. This is a candy pink diamond square, and not paying attention, I had to frog. I'm a stickler. When I miss stitches, I have to undo them. So I've been doing a little bit of frogging this week, but hopefully you're not. And hopefully you'll find some really good yarn clearance. Bye!